Hello, Virgo. Welcome to Intuitive Gems. My name is Desiree, and I will be doing your money, wealth, finance, prosperity, abundance reading for the month of July 2021. If this is your first time catching one of my readings, I do want to say welcome and I invite you to subscribe because I do these readings each and every month and I would love to share your money message with you. For the readings this month, I'll be using my original tarot deck. I will also clarify with my Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot, as I always do. And then I will close out your reading, Virgo, with a New Moon Intention Oracle card. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, I'm already kind of sensing that there's some impatience going on with you, Virgo, for the month of July, and I totally understand because I am a Virgo too. So I get it, trust me, I get it. But let's go ahead and get right into it. What do we need to know for the sign of Virgo as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of July 2021? And things look really interesting so far. Now, like I said, I was already picking up that there's a lot of impatience going on. And don't feel bad about that, Virgo. I get it. I'm a Virgo. We want everything yesterday. It is what it is. But here's the thing. The patience is going to pay off. I can tell you that clearly. Clearly, if you can wait, if you can hold out, if you can just stay steady, you're going to really feel that things are starting to fall into place. But I'm not going to say there's not going to be any hiccups along the way, especially as it relates to your money. Check it out. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Pentacles cards here. Remember, this is a money reading. That's what we're focused on. That's what we're doing. And it looks like some things may not exactly happen as you anticipate once we hit that first week of July. The moon in the reverse, this is a good card I like to see in the reverse because it talks about something that was once hidden will be revealed once we move into the new month of July 2021. All right, so if you were ever feeling like maybe confused, maybe like you just didn't know enough about something, I promise you, probably within the first few days of July, looks like something's going to be revealed and you're going to be able to see the full picture, the clear picture. You're going to know, you're going to be able to fill in the gaps, so to speak. Next, we have the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles in reverse. Sometimes I don't like to see this guy in the reverse. Why? Because it tells us that we're not really doing what we know we should be doing, especially as it relates to our money. Now, I can relate to this. I've been kind of loosey-goosey on my spending lately, and I'm sure some of you can relate. You know, cities are starting to open back up, you know, businesses are thriving. We're starting to feel a little bit more confident and secure as far, you know, as our economic futures. So, you know, we've been maybe a little bit more carefree with the spending, or maybe we've been kind of buying things that we just haven't really researched or haven't really taken the time to invest enough knowledge into whether or not we should do this. I'm feeling that, and I have a feeling some of you can relate. So that's just something we have to be aware of, something we have to pay attention to. The other thing is work is slowing down for a lot of us Virgos. I know, again, I have been sensing that work is really slowing down. Doesn't mean that there's no work. It just means that, you know, things are kind of taking their time. Things are just not, you know, it's just not as busy as it usually is for Virgos right now. So the first week of July, you know, and that could be the holiday too for those of us who are in the United States, you know, 4th of July weekend, a lot of people take off. People are on summer break, summer vacations. So that could be, but this is going to be temporary. I can see that here. Knight of Pentacles tells us that there's some type of assistance that you were expecting, and you're going to probably hear that it doesn't quite come as anticipated, Virgo. There was some type of financial support that was due to come. There could be some delays, but there was something of a financial nature that was supposed to show up but for some reason it's not going to. Now again, this doesn't mean that it will never show up, But I am picking up with the Knight of Pentacles here that that support, that assistance that you were expecting does not come through to the degree that you need it to. Again, I use this example all the time. It could be maybe someone is supposed to pay you back the money they owe you, and they owe you $500, and maybe they can only pay you $100 right now, but you were really counting on the full amount. It's one of those things where the assistance or the payback just doesn't come at the time that it should come. We also have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. That talks about being a little bit too generous. I know, again, we can all relate to that. Maybe spending too much, maybe giving away too much information, maybe oversharing about our personal stuff. Just be careful of that, because it can cause you to feel a little bit taken advantage of, or maybe even feeling a little short-sighted in some way, where you give, but then what you get in return leaves you feeling a little like you got the short end of the stick. So be careful with that, Virgo. Like I said, this is not anything that's permanent, but I know as a Virgo myself that we can kind of get caught up in that. But after all is said and done, look what shows up for us. We got the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is the literal wish card. Whatever it is that we've been wishing, hoping, praying for, it does show up. It does take its time, but it is coming for us. You will be delivered, so to speak, Virgo. Not only financially, but I'm feeling like personally and even in some relationships as well. Everything is working to make you more profitable, Virgo. So I hope you understand that, and I hope you believe that. Just because we hit a few snags along the way doesn't mean that everything is always going to be, on a dip. There are some high points. They're definitely showing up for us. It's very exciting, and it's funny because it shows up at the right time. Right when we're, feeling maybe a little discouraged, maybe a little burnt out, things really do turn around and work out in our favor, both in the short and long term. All right, Virgo. Let's see what else is showing up for you as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity. And abundance for the month of July 2021. What do we need to know for the sign of Virgo? All right, Virgo. Well, things definitely just continue to improve as we move into the second week of July. We have the Knight of Cups in the reverse. Interesting, because I have a feeling that whatever information that kind of gets revealed as we move into this new month probably has to do with the personal relationship, but there is a financial connection to that as well, okay? Could be somebody close to you, could even be like a work partner, could be a spouse, could be a relative. But I'm feeling like with this Knight of Cups that there's some information about somebody close to you, and there's going to be a direct financial tie in that, in that connection. This could be somebody that maybe you support financially, maybe somebody that was supporting you financially, maybe somebody that was an investor in your business, maybe somebody that is a colleague at work. But whatever it is, there's definitely a personal relationship that has a financial connection to it. Now, the good thing is we've got the Page of Pentacles here. Page of Pentacles is good news coming in as it relates to money. We already probably saw a hint of it with this wish card here, roughly at the end of the first week of July. But the Page of Pentacles means we are getting some wonderful news as it relates to money. So get excited and get ready, Virgo. Next, we have the Justice card. Justice is all about decisions being made in our favor. Again, this is another wonderful card to see in the upright position. Justice means that things work out fairly. And also that things are also going to really kind of expand further than what the immediate situation is, right? So a decision is made in your favor. You feel the direct impact of that decision in a positive way right now, again, as it relates to your finances. But then there's a ripple effect of this decision, and not only benefits you, maybe it benefits your children. It benefits, your future career. Maybe it benefits your business as well, but there's definitely multiple layers to this positive decision as it relates to your money. Now we do have the Hangman here. The Hangman kind of is a little bit of a stickler card. Sometimes the Hangman shows up when we're procrastinating. The other times the Hangman shows up when we are just flat out refusing to take action on something. And usually when that happens is there's a cost to pay. Maybe not only financially, but metaphorically. Maybe time gets wasted. Maybe something becomes worse off than what it would have been had we done whatever it was that we could have done sooner. But you're going to have to figure out what that is for yourself. Again, if you feel like you're procrastinating or dragging your feet on something, now is the time to really step forward and take that action. Next, we have the Star card. I don't like seeing the Star card in the reverse because this is the card that tells us to pay attention to our health. Now, it's not always something negative, though. It just means that there's something there that maybe we've been neglecting that we have to, pay attention to. Maybe we need to go to the dentist. Maybe we need to get our yearly checkup, and we just haven't been doing it. So the Star card tells us pay attention to your health, because remember, true wealth always starts with health. You can't enjoy your millions if you're laying up sick in a hospital bed. Now, the other thing about the Star card is if it's not anything health related, this is a beautiful card. This is a very positive card because it means you are the star of the show. Now, it may not mean that everything comes together in this grand way that we would like it to, but things are still working out pretty good. It's one of those things where, hey, I can't complain because things are still working out beautifully. So either way, I think it's a good card to really pay attention to and to kind of, go within. If there are some health things that you've been ignoring, maybe that could be what this Hangman is about. Spend the time now to get it checked out. If not, then it could just really be you being the star of the show. You just really shining bright and reaping the rewards because of it. Okay, let's see what else is showing up for Virgo as it relates to money, wealth, finances. Prosperity and abundance for the month of July 2021. All right, so as we move into the second half of the month, Virgo, you're definitely going to be in what I like to call a building and restructuring phase. And I say that because of this Tower card here. Now, the nice thing with this Five of Wands in the reverse, that talks about open communication. It talks about connection and really being able to kind of have a open dialogue with someone who really means a lot to you. And again, there's a financial undertone to this, okay? So I'm not feeling like this is totally a personal relationship, but that doesn't mean it's not. But there's definitely some communication and some dialogue that happens with someone in relation to your finances, and it's actually very good. Maybe the relationship was strained, maybe money was always a sore subject between you two, but it looks like that gets resolved once we hit the second half of the month. Now here's where we get into that rebuilding and restructuring phase. The Tower card in the reverse is a very good card to see in the reverse because it talks about the worst is over. It means now you literally are in the phase of your life or the phase of your career or the phase of your business where you're really building and you are making things structurally better, stronger, more expansive. This is a really good card because it almost gives you permission to start over without having to start over. You know, you've learned some things, you've got some more wisdom, you can kind of make some better decisions the second time or third time around, whatever it is, especially as it relates to your money. You know, we've all made financial mistakes. Now we have an opportunity to learn from those mistakes and be a lot more discerning with how we spend, how we invest, you know, the things we buy, the things we don't buy. You know, the people we support, the organizations that we get involved in. All of those things are part of rebuilding who you are or rebuilding your business or your investments. So this is a really good card. I do feel like a lot of that will be happening once we hit the second half of July. So now we have the Judgment card. Now the Judgment card in the reverse is telling me that there is still some things that need to be cleaned up from the recent past. And again, this is something of a financial nature. So, sometimes we do things, we spend money, or we make a financial decision and we think, okay, it's done. But sometimes there's still some residual stuff that comes with those financial decisions, right? I know I've been there. You give money to a relative, they're happy, but then they come back asking for more. And not that you don't care and not that you don't want to help, but at the same time, no, this transaction is done. And I'm not saying that's going to be it for everybody, but sometimes there's some things that kind of are left hanging, and this Judgment card in the reverse is telling me that we have to clean that up, because in order for us to move forward holistically and in a much grander way, we have to tie up those loose ends from our past. But we've got a more good news, the Page of Cups. This is an offer coming in. It could be a proposal for some of you. When I say proposal, I don't mean romantically, however that could be. The proposal could also be something business. It could be a job offer. It could be maybe a client that wants to sign on with you or who wants to hire you or work with you. This is very good. There's definitely an offer. It's somebody showing up with some type of an offer. Again, there is a financial benefit to it. I can see that clearly. Next, we have the Nine of Swords here. Nine of Swords is a little bit of worrisome energy, Virgo. Sometimes things go really well, or sometimes we just don't know what to do and we get anxious about it. Just be careful with that. See if you can kind of work through that in a much gentler way for yourself. Don't stress and really trust the process and trust yourself and know that everything is going to be okay and that everything is going to work out for your benefit, not only personally but professionally as well. Finally, we got this Ten of Pentacles. One of my favorite cards as it relates to group work, collaborations, coming together. Looks like there's going to be several people that you work with in order to achieve your financial goals. And this could be in your career. It could also be in your business. It could be in your investments. It can also be in your relationships. But there's definitely going to be several people on board that you're going to work together with in a very harmonious way. And it will bring financial abundance to everyone involved. It's a very beautiful card because it's a very strong card, because it's a card that represents power in numbers. All right, let's see what else is showing up for Virgo. As it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of July 2021. So as we close out the month, Virgo, looks like you've still got some things here that you're working on, things that are still coming together. But you know what? You manage it all very beautifully. We've got the Three of Cups here. Now the Three of Cups in the reverse, interesting that it fell on the communication card. I'm feeling like someone is going to probably be pulling away from a situation to some degree. And I'm feeling really wholeheartedly like this is something work related. This isn't personal. This is like either a coworker, a colleague, a manager, business partner, customer, client, I don't know, but somebody's going to be pulling away. Someone's going to be stepping back, removing themselves from the situation. And actually, it's going to be a very good thing, Virgo. It's going to be a very, very good thing, because this could have been a situation that was maybe costing you more than what it was worth. And it looks like by the time we close out the end of the month, that situation gets resolved in a very, I don't want to say a friendly way, but a very articulate way. In other words, both sides, both parties know what needs to be done, and they go ahead and do it. And maybe they're not in agreement on a lot of things, but they do agree on this, that it's probably time for us to go our separate ways. Next, we have the Magician. The Magician is a wonderful card of resourcefulness. Virgo, you have everything you need in order to create the wealth that you want, okay? You are not lacking in anything. If you need tools, if you need skills, if you need people, support, you do have access to it. You just have to be aware that you have access to it. And whatever you don't physically have, just know that you can manifest, you can create it somehow, some way. So this is again, remembering, Virgo, that the power is within you and that you will be financially rewarded, okay? It's just how much can you handle, right? Because there's no limits, there's no blockages, but it's how much are you feeling comfortable with, and how much are you really kind of allowing yourself to receive. Next, we have the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands in the reverse kind of talks about a foundation that's not quite set yet. Doesn't necessarily mean anything's wrong, but it does mean that something is not quite ready. And it's interesting because this is the card of stability, foundation, starting the beginning phases of something new. And it fell on this offer here. So I'm wondering if this offer that comes through, maybe there's something that's not fully developed yet. And so it's going to take a little bit of time before it kind of matures into what it is, you know, going to be. And I feel like that's something that you're probably going to just have to kind of wait out, Virgo. Okay, so if there is an offer on the table, you know, make sure you take your time, you know, as long as you don't have a deadline, take your time and really seeing if this is the offer for you or if it's going to be a match. And if it's not related to this offer, understand that maybe there is some things that you gotta have to kind of give a little bit of time before you actually make a decision. Next, we have the Seven of Swords. Something that was stolen or wrongfully taken from you, Virgo, gets returned or it gets restored. I love seeing this card in the reverse because usually it means that a wrong gets righted in some way. And that happens towards the end of the month. I'm feeling like there's a financial connection to this. Maybe someone stole money. Maybe someone stole your tools. I don't know. Stole a customer, stole a client. Somehow that situation gets corrected when I see this card show up. So it's very, very good. And again, there's going to be a financial benefit to you when that happens. Finally, we got the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords talks about unexpected stopping of something. It's not necessarily negative. The only thing is that it's unexpected, and so maybe you're kind of unprepared. I'm not feeling like this is anything personal. I'm feeling like this is something work-related for some of you. You know, maybe your hours get cut out of the blue. Maybe they change your schedule without telling you. You know, it's one of those things where it's not horrible, but it's like, it just feels like it's really inconsiderate. Unfortunately, it happens to all of us and there's nothing we can do about it. So Virgo, you've got a good month here. Things are definitely happening and working in your favor. And I guess the underlying theme here is just to be patient, but while you're being patient, get prepared. All right, Virgo, I'm going to close out your reading with a new moon intention oracle card. I'm feeling two cards here for you. This is a brand new oracle deck I got from Sage Goddess, and I think it's really, really pretty, and I'm happy to share it with you. So Virgo, you got card number 1, Universal Love, and then card 28, Healed Ego. I receive love from all directions and trust that the love I seek is already on its way. My intention is to be open to love in all its forms. Love easily finds me, and I make a good home for love within my body, mind, and spirit. Your stone is rose quartz. Your essential oil is rose de mai. Next, we have Healed Ego. I make decisions based on my heart and not my mind, which allows me to transcend ego and self-importance in favor of truth and clarity. I release the need for control, and in doing so, I allow for magic to unfold in my life. The stone is golden sheen obsidian, and the essential oil is lemon balm. So Virgo, I love that. I hope it was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, observations, please drop them down below. And I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me. We'll do it all again next month.